Hi again, Gregg Bell, the News Tribune here at Lumen Field, call it Losing Field in Seattle, because that's what it's become. The Seahawks have lost their first 3 home games to a season for the first time since 1992. 1992, you got to go way back to when this franchise was its middling 8-8, 9-7, 7-9 selves for pretty much their existence. They are 2-5 for the first time since 2011. The last time that was the last season that they didn't have Russell Wilson as their quarterback. They drafted him after that year. That was when Pete Carroll's second season. He was still overhauling the franchise. What did he learn tonight? Well, it's what we knew. If you lose your starting quarterback, you're done. That has been this way in the NFL since before free agency and the salary cap era began 35 plus years ago. Since 2015, there have been 19 instances of a team losing its quarterback to a major injury in season for 3 or more games. The Seahawks are the 20th team with Russell Wilson to do that this season. Of the previous 19 teams, 17 of those teams didn't make the playoffs. With the loss tonight that Seattle got, third straight loss since Wilson got hurt, teams are now 59-119 after they lose a quarterback in the season. That's a .331 winning percentage. The Seahawks 119. The loss tonight to the Saints was the 119th loss of those teams. So you're going to lose. 2/3 of the time, you lose your starting quarterback. That's why they pay them the big bucks. That's why they have the franchise cornerstone. Let's put it this way. 156 left. Saints leading 13-10. Got there because of a calamity of errors on defensive penalties and mistakes, and the Marquise Blair crown of the helmet hit on a sack of Jameis Winston that extended the Saints' drive to the field goal. Jumping off sides on 4th and 5 on a field goal punt block by Al Woods. 13-10, they're down. Geno Smith takes the field. When Russell Wilson takes the field with 156 and 1 timeout left, the Seahawks believe. He's done it 35 times in his career. 35 fourth quarter and overtime comebacks for wins. That's the most in the NFL since the beginning of the 2012 season. When Geno Smith took the field tonight with 156 left and 1 timeout down 3, there was hope. They didn't believe, they hoped. Well, first pass, lawn darted in the ground at the feet of DK Metcalf, incomplete. Second pass, held onto the ball too long, got sacked. Third down, tried to make something happen, held onto the ball, got sacked for the 5th time. Game over. 4th and 29, desperation pass. Seahawks are now 2-5. They're 5 games out of the division lead because Arizona's still undefeated in the NFC West. Let's not even talk about the seeding. Seahawks are 13th seed of 16 teams. They're going to have to go 7-3 just to have a winning record this season. Forget about the playoffs. They just got to get to 500. Russell Wilson's going to be out until at least November 14th. I asked Pete Carroll yet again. I think it's like the 10th time I've asked him in the last 2 weeks. Do you have any more word or definitiveness on whether Wilson will come back at his minimum return, the earliest return time of November 14th at Green Bay? He said, no, I have no idea. But with the IR rules, he has to miss at least 3 games. The 3rd game missed would be the Jacksonville game this Sunday. That's not a layup anymore. Jacksonville's 1-5, coming off a bye, coming out here Sunday. And I don't think any of us believe that's a walk in the park for Seattle to win that game. So what do they need to do in the meantime? Well, they need to run the ball. The reason they ran 6 times in 6 plays on a drive in the 3rd quarter was to try to give Smith time in the 4th quarter with this offensive line that just cannot pass block when teams know they have to throw. But the running game's not there either. It's not probably going to happen against the Saints anyway. They're number 2 in the NFL against the run. 35 yards on 16 carries for Alex Collins. 6 carries and 9 yards for Rashad Penny in his return from injured reserve. That's not helping Geno Smith at all. It's not helping the offensive line that needs it. Kyle Fuller is having all kinds of problems at center, but Ethan Posic's the option. He wasn't any good enough to keep his job from last season. Dwayne Brown is struggling at left tackle, and he's your best offensive lineman. He's 36 years old and not having his best season at all. Brandon Shell got beaten a couple times off the edge on the right tackle. Gabe Jackson missed a block out on a couple blocks, actually, out on screen passes, and so it went. Defensively, Trey Bond needs a start. I don't know what else. Do they need to see Sidney Jones get beaten down the sidelines a few more times? He was beaten on back-to-back plays in the second half. Carroll alternated his left cornerbacks. He said he doesn't like to do that, yet he did it tonight. Brown and Jones started for the 3rd straight game. Brown came in, the rookie corner who debuted so well at Pittsburgh last year. They alternated throughout the first half. Then Jones played most of the second half, though Brown came in and alternated in the fourth quarter. And then after the drive with back-to-back plays that Jones got beaten down the sidelines, Brown finished the game. Trent Brown should start against Jacksonville and make his first NFL start at left corner, but I feel like I'm just talking about rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic when I'm talking about who the starting left cornerback should be with this team right now. Tons more to talk about. I could go on, but now it's pouring rain on me, and it's midnight. It's on the newstribune.com, on Twitter at GBellSeattle. Geno Smith was asked what next. He said, well, the sun comes up tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, Tuesday, is going to be 90% chance of rain and clouds all day. That's where the Seahawks are right now. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.